coming back and then leaving. No, I never felt this strong. It feels so right, but it's also wrong. The high never stays long, so I keep on dreaming. I dreamed about you last night. A kiss behind closed eyes. A flash across the sky. Light faded from your mind. An unexpected I started with a simple smile. Light faded from your mind. Am I there on your skin? In your dream, I never stay long. Just followed by endless dreaming. You never stay long. You keep coming back and then leaving. No, I never felt this strong. It feels so right, but it's also wrong. The high never stays long, so I keep on dreaming. An unexpected high that started with a simple smile.
It's interesting how through the glass you get extra reflections of Mooney as because he's, you know, it's because light is transferred into orbs and everything's close, you know, as well as if it even is far, but I think everything's close, so yeah, everything. Excuse me. It's also why I can bring the moon in, you know, in the back door as well. And that wasn't a euphemism or a, you know, a faux pas, an entendre for the lowbrow monde. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't know what the monde do. Someone sent that in. But, yeah. I don't recall what I meant. Yeah. When he comes on, you're welcome. Of course. See, someone's going to say, oh no, it's just the camera's focused on it out there, and then it's being projected inside the camera. We don't really understand, because the fact is that lens flares and sun dogs are their orbs, right? It's all blending. You know, that's actually I was said before I was going to stop explaining things, and I had forgotten, and my brain is straining extraneously at why I started again. So yeah, what's that? Come in, you know. Yeah, you must like the sun. The moon is a projection in our consciousness. You know, been saying that for a while. Actually, I've been saying about the sun for a while, but I don't think I've actually really said it that much about the moon, so there you go. Perhaps I don't ever quite realise it about the moon, but it's yeah, but I have been saying that about the sun for years. That was been I suspected such. Of course, the moon is as well. Yeah, the fact is that absolutely everything is no doubt a projection in our consciousness. And we're walking around inside it, and that's just the difficult bit to get your head around if you're trying to measure it and put a physical weight, length, distance, go inside, go on the outside and climb it. Because it's not, it's different to that. It's different to it's difficult to measure things that are beyond. See, you can't. It's beyond the physics of. Yeah, it has to be. That's the whole point. It's quite simple when you just start explaining again. Really silly way of naming, no more explaining. If you call it something else, if you're going to keep explaining, give it a different name. It's otherwise it's merely shaming. Darren Hinch would be a callback if I was continuing to fall back onto the rhyme talk, incessantly at sometimes while making sense of my realm, time and mind. Stop trying to share it with others. They're in their own realm, a battery of other lovers. It's everything's a projection of our consciousness. We're walking around inside our own heads, our own minds, if you want to put it that way. Your mind isn't your anyhow. All right. Not continuing to talk there, so I'm just stopping. I'll put some of that on. That's it's a bit like a dream. When you're dreaming, what world are you in when you're dreaming? Well, we don't know. That's probably the correct answer. I don't know. But the probably the closest we can get to a comfortable solution to that, or an answer to that question of shouldn't be cause confusion, is, well, when you're dreaming, you fall asleep, you have a dream, and then you're in this, well, where are you? You're in your mind. You're dreaming, you're in a land, you're in your own mind when you're dreaming. Well, I was just going to take that to another. But I've been saying this, which one's the dream? It's been flipping for me. Or it's felt like it's wanted to, and it's it being the awareness or the like when you go to sleep at night. Well, do you ever worry that you're not going to wake up in the morning? Shit. I mean, I don't mean on time. Obviously, that's a concern for I assume a number in this clock watching civilization of apparent clock watching to the point of not watching so I had something, but I was just didn't. Then I just I don't know. It just went. You don't very rare. I can't. Very rare. So have you ever? You don't go to sleep worrying that you'll never wake up again. I don't think. Maybe little kids do when they're like You know, and they've probably got a fair point, because they remember it's actually the other way around. It takes a few years to get programmed to believing that upside down topsy turvy land is actually where we are now. It takes quite a bit to you know, it takes quite a bit to then realise that we've actually, you know what, perhaps got it the wrong way around. Everything was the opposite of what we were told, and you know, we were upside down when we were told we were on the outside of a spinning ball, and we were nowhere at all. We were in our own mind. We were having a dream. But that's what I do when I go to sleep at night. Well, that's right. That's correct. How do you know which is the right one? How do you know? How do you know when you wake up here that this is not the dream? And when you go to bed at night, you know, sometimes, you know, too late, too early. From the thing that I've, you know, programmed, made up a construct for myself that I had to attend or do, or, you know, this is, I can't believe it's so late. I can't believe all these little things that we've all made up things in our minds that we've, you know, constructed, you know, overly compunctured. I don't know, I was going to go on to go with that. Yeah, my brain's a bit tired at the moment. Yeah. Enough bloke trying to explain things in this dream. I'm just going to have some dreaming time for a while. Perhaps, I mean, it's me doing it. I mean, I'm not. It's only me. It's an instant, yeah. It's an instant. Oh, look at the screen. Yeah, because look, the moon's not physical. Alright, the sun's not physical. Now you get down to it, you know, we're not physical. Nothing is. That's probably the crux of it, but let's not go too far right now. Let's just go back to the fact that the moon, you know, and the sun, they're not physical. There might be reflections like plasma, light. Who knows? I'm not, you know, but the moon's not a rock in space. Yeah, and that's why the sun and the moon, they move like orbs to me, because orbs you see seen in reflections, right? And yeah, there's a fluidity in the movement, but so that's why it's. I think that's why perhaps because I don't have a blocker when it's like I feel I'm pulling it in. I feel I'm pulling it in, right? Well, yeah, I am. I'm pulling it in, but completely entrenched with the moon is a size, and that's the reason that we have the tides, and it's actually, it doesn't fit. It's, if you look into it, a lot of people have, a lot of men and women have, it's nonsense. There's tidal nodes, and the different ways the universe works differently to the way that Neil deGrasse Tyson and his mates will say, but you know, whatever. I mean, good luck, Neil. It's rather a this spheroid old joke, unpeeled, or I don't know. I was going to try and turn that into make it about me. Just should really let go of Neil deGrasse Tyson at this point. I haven't thought of him for ages. It was just the only reference I had. That, you know, first reference as far as a comment. Anyhow, point is, well, it's not a rock in space. Look into it. Yeah, look into the moon, and also look into the stuff. And our point is not a rock in space. It's not physical. So I'm pulling it in. But it's that terminology, I think, that is one of the many cognitive dissonance triggers that frequently, comes onto me. And not in coming onto me, it's like a cognitive dissonance. I experience it, what's the word to say now? I'm on the receiving end of the cognitive dissonance more often than I can contend. I mean, it's and that's fine. I don't mean in that sense. That's not the point, isn't that? Because it's like, well, yeah, that's part of the process. Yeah, yada yada yada. But the good news is once you get past that, the shock, the anger, the 5-step process, the grief, essentially, the whole thing, the blame, I could go through it, but I'm not really going to. The main part of the cognitive dissonance I tend to notice is just the blankness and the anger that comes from those that, just some, I can be quite resistant to change myself, but that's how I assess, me and my outlook on life, psychiatric health. I didn't want to say that, but I was stuck on trying to rhyme, and then, I'm not that bad. Turns out I'm far more. I'm right with change. I don't, so I don't like going to sleep. I don't like getting up. But change, I mean, and I love a comfort. I love a security blanket. I love a bit of comfort. I'm not saying, I don't want to, But change is as good as a holiday, and look, we're all on one heck of a holiday in this dream that a lot of us are still haven't even realised that we're in it, that we're dreaming, and perhaps it's holler-day. Like wake up. I don't know. I've just got someone who's going nowhere. I was point is, and I had a point. I don't know what it fucking was, but I'm not going to do anything with this. But maybe possibly rewatch at some point. Feel a bit silly, probably. Go through my own cognitive dissonance. So I'll go through my own. Why do I? I love a why. Like a moment, melodramatic fucking one, why didn't anyone? We're all in our own bloody dreams. That's why. Nice to share and talk to others. It may be you cross paths in the dream night sky, and that's lovely. Great when you do. We're sometimes living in, grim, optimistic hope that, there'll be some other woke dreaming type blokes and, those that aren't, that, point is, it's like, there are, but I don't know that, I don't know how many. That's going to be exciting when we start syncing these dreams up a bit more. That's going to be good. Not to say this isn't. I have a you know a bit of a you know an over. I don't want to have like that quite a defeatist, pessimistic, or I got the shit's tone. I'm a bit tired. I shouldn't explain things at the moment. And I did say it before, and I just went against it because it's like, you know, well, if you're dreaming, why not explain it? Well, what's the problem? What? Not explain it. What for? Yeah. Yeah. We're sleeping in different we're all in different we're in different I don't know, camps, rooms, beds, different, you know, and there's like I don't know, let's say, well, it's okay, I don't think it goes like a hospital things. I don't really like hospitals. I said this to Adam, I had a dream about it, and I was like, not a dream, I was just falling asleep, and it came to me, I was like, that, it was a real thing. I said, we've been hypnotised. We've been hypnotised, man. We've been hypnotised. Alright? That's what, yeah, sounds like, whatever, sounds, yeah, batshit crazy, or obvious as, yeah, of course we have. We're all hypnotised. Clever. Alright, so we are. And look, there's mate, look, I'm just going to call them little meanies because it's hard to come up with. Well, they don't want us to. They're like, don't let them cross dreams. You know what happens when they cross dreams? You know, we have to be seen to be what we are, and we can't take advantage of the sleepwalking, easily fighting, you know, gods of creation, of past, now, future, seeding, sedation. Let's, you know, shh, just be quiet. Keep them asleep. They're asleep. They're a bit hypnotised. Don't worry. You know, he's talking to you. He's sleep talking. Just, you know, you don't want to wake a sleep talker. You know, they probably just say that because you know, because we can hear a little bit. We're hypnotised. Slowly, I like to think it's, yeah, the hypnotism is showing demise, and my phone's about to cut me off. Fair enough. All right, much love. I'm out. That was yeah, no need. All right, it's flashing like it's going to stop. And that's why with the gang stalking, it's the colours and the themes that get thrown at you again and again. It's like, oh, the trigger, they're not like and it starts not working. Like, well, if I usually put a opposite, you know, it's like the AI's been confused as he's seen my internet history. It's like, why is he not? We're throwing these for a while. It was everywhere I went. I was getting like a single, like a girl by herself, and like two dogs would be hanging out, like, you know, like it was trying to, you know, trick me into going down that path. I've said this before, like at that time, and at different times, it's like it, you know, dead set when I was starting to see through things. It was like it was throwing things like that in front of me, bouncing around, all in front of me, getting, you know, yeah, doing it in such a very obvious manner that's like, all right, yeah, okay, I see what's going on here. That's fucking, you know, a bit mildly terrifying. I'm getting cognitive dissonance as this was, you know, being applied. I was finding, and yeah, sounds like whatever to say. Okay, fine. I don't think really know what it sounds like. I probably should go into more detail if I'm going to explain it in such a way, but frankly, nah, not now, not tonight. Maybe another, you know, semi awake dream, late night bake. But it was that, yeah. Just put him in front of me. I'm not going to get out. I'm not going to. I can remember that quite well. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, it's a girl in the red dress. Oh, that's just a much simpler and yeah, more perhaps pleasant way of putting it, and yeah, more politically correct, and yeah, easier to understand and reflect when you have an example in a soft disclosure, you know, psyop as old movies are, we, you know, we should know. If we don't, then you should know that. All right, nice one. And it's still, yeah, it's it's yeah, it's a funny game. You know what I mean? It's a fun old game. It's, you know, it's quite exciting, and it's, geez, sometimes you never know you're playing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. Yeah, too much. Me saying that I'm gonna stop explaining. I'm gonna go do some more dreaming of the less talking about meaning, theming. I don't know. Just stop. Oh, thanks. I'm hungry. Yeah, like, as, and that's exactly what happens is as the game, as the AI, as the whatever we want to call it, the administrator, although we've got administrator access. There's the that's the key. There's the secret ticket. There's Willy Wonka's moment. You know, more program and zone. But anyway, I don't want to go. It's just, but it does. It tries like things become more increasingly becomes increasingly obvious that what's, and because if you're not biting, it's like, why, you know, because I even. Because yeah, I was having, and it still can happen, but I was having things, you know, repeatedly put in front of me, right? But this is all part of the, you know, yeah, it's part of the, yeah, oh, it's us and the other side, you know, on some level, perhaps. But you know, things were happening. But I can remember, you know, strange things, but that also helped understand and clarify that it's, you know, it's a simulation, right? But I had to, you know, I had to check. No one told me. Well, people had said this is what they think it is, and I was like, well, you know, I'd be like, there's a lot of evidence of that, but I'm not. Jury's out for me. Like, I had to come, yeah, yeah. So you got to work it out for yourself. But there was, I was doing it one night. Yeah, and I was in the place by myself. I felt like George, right, but yeah, and there's the thank goodness that the troublesome relationship I was in, you know, had ended. But it was at that, you know, that sort of timing that the AI or the shapes of psychotic or otherwise, perhaps not, you know, spy odd. Anyhow, I was sitting in my room. It's funny because I told the neighbour. I told him about Chris next door. Because it was like, I was like, oh no. I was in my room and all I could hear is like, oh, there's people on the, because there's like a, it's always been part of the freaking show. The townhouses dying. They've never, the whole time, there's never been a consistent of this person lived there. It's always just like, that's just where they put gang stalkers and, I don't know, people, you know, suspected people that, I don't know, who knows? You know, they come to get tickets to have a night in on the set. I don't freaking know. But it's never had, it's not like, never been like, oh, yeah, Bob lives over there. No, never that. Oh, it's always it's been a series of, you know, you know, learnings, cognitive dissonance, sparked, you know, burnings at time. But anyhow, all right, so I was like, oh no, I can. Oh, and it says people. I'm just going to say it. People fucking on the balcony, right? It's like a glass like a it's not tape, but it's all glass, right? It's not like you know, you're only hanging out there. It's for exhibitionists. Let's be clear. That's what it's for. You're not. You know, maybe I notice and feel things more than, well, at least the, you know, well, the sort that choose to be or find themselves as stalkers and would rather be gawked at and get attention. I'm like, nah, please don't have you getting opening your window, your light on at night. That makes me uncomfortable. I won't even look. I'm like, fuck, it's like a goldfish. Yeah, that's just me, right? That's how I was brought up, whatever. So it's for exhibitions, that balcony in the first place. But yeah, so they're on the balcony, right? But they weren't just doing it like they would. This is the thing. They've been extremely loud, right? Making it, I don't want to go into full details, but yelling things, making it and slap, like just being obnoxiously loud. They wanted, this is a thing, right? They were doing it for me. They wanted my attention. I was like, what? I was like, but of course when I first said, I was like, oh, what's going on there? I was like, I had to go. I went and put something in the bin just to see what the hell was going on. Because yeah, I think that's understandable. I was like, and then I looked up. Right, this is the thing. I looked up, took a little sneaky little glance, because I'm like, I'm not a about top, like I'm not, nah, mind my own business. I'm really not interested. It's like in that. I don't want to. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Either way, I was like, what the? This was like you couldn't ignore it. It was ridiculous. And this is the thing. It was to get my fucking attention because as I've I was pretending about something to be. I think I've grabbed a bit of rubbish. I'm not a very good bloody actor. Unlike a lot that. I know they're not good actors. A lot of these. Anyhow, I'm getting off the topic. As I've like gone a sneaky little glance just to confirm, because I'm like, it's up in the fucking balcony, right? They're both looking at me, right? She's looking at me. He's looking at me. They're trying to get eye contact. They're like, just don't. I'm like, you fuck. I was like, because I felt violent. Don't include me. And this is the thing. You do it. You don't want to look at anyone else. That's not how it goes. Unless you're, putting on some fucked up show, which turns out everything we're in is kind of like that. Or they're just perverted whatever. They were doing it for me. Looking me in the eyes while you're doing that, like, that's just as messed up, right? And I was like, fucking assholes. And this is before I realised I was gang stalked and whatnot. So it was all part of that, but I was like, fuck's sake. Give me fucking eye contact. That's just messed up. They were doing it for me, right? And I was like, I ended up going, I was like, I was like, oh, I'm getting on my bike. Like, it's a bike, I was only fucking bike for a ride. It was alright. Funny thing was, because I told my neighbour, and he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, oh, yeah. Like, he's like, really? In my shit? He's like, oh, did you get, because he knows I got the P900. I was like, so I thought about it, I thought about it. Because, perhaps on some level that's human nature, I don't know, but them sick, looking at me in the fucking eyes, that's just fucked up. Do what you're doing, man. Don't look at me. That's just not, anyhow, we're not going to go into it, it's just, the point is, it was all it was an act, right? It was all some sort of it's the AI trying to, I don't know, get something, because it's like, shit, he doesn't seem to be so easily provoked. It seems he's enjoying nature too much. He seems to be alright given all the things that have been thrown at him in recent times. If anything, shit. Oh no, we might be losing this one. And the problem with the AI is when they lose one, that becomes something that might turn the fucking switch off at some point, because you're waking up and it's like, hang on, what the fuck's going on? Anyhow, what's funny is my neighbour. He's a great dude. He's fantastic. The old bloke, he's a really, really good dude, top dude. He was like, not every time, but heaps of times I went out the front the next week. I'd be like, I'm like, Chris, you're still doing gardening in your front yard. You've been doing a lot of gardening. He's like, oh, yeah, he hates gardening. It was just quite, yeah, that was a little funny. It was quite funny. He's like, because you think, what? But no, when they look in the eye and it's a dodgy, it's like, don't look at like, they weren't doing it for they were doing it for me. That's messed up. That's just they got, whatever, everything's a bloody show, Maybe I'll program that one in as part of the confusing incitement, it's part way along the ride, like my mate would get, go to gold class, I'm getting to bring a can lager out halfway through. I'm like, that's fucking great. Fuck, that's what anyway, I don't really didn't mean yeah, because then I sort of came to this conclusion and said this like a few months ago. Our attention, it's worth far more than we were told, far more than we thought, far more than, it's valued, far exceeds gold. Your attention, that's why everything's fighting for your attention. There's more to that, there's something in that. But alright, happy dreaming, sweet dreams, wakey wakey, however it goes or it seems. Nice love. Bye now.
So I keep on dreaming, unexpected highs.